Oh, alright, what's up Dragon Brood? Today we are excited because we're getting to play with Gruul Werewolves. And this is a thing because I've been seeing it off and on, maybe like once every few days on the ladder. And it was kind of like, why are people still playing this? I didn't know if it was any good or not. We have other versions of Gruul that have been, but I wanted to experiment with a couple of cards, and one of them being Halana and Elena that absolutely needed to go into this list. But I wanted to see if a couple other changes made sense. So I had a theory on a way to try to figure this out. But let's go take a look at the deck list and we'll talk about it. If you're looking for quality binders, sleeves, dice, deck boxes, or other supplies, be sure to check out Ultra Pro's Smoke Gray collection this month over at shop.ultrapro.com/PowrDragn and use promo code PowrDragn to save 5%. Alright, so like I was saying, one of the things I decided is I went through and I tried to find any Gruul list that had any type of winning record. And then I went through and tried to, I guess, do an aggregated list and try to figure out what the most common numbers of everything in the list were and build something based on that. Then once we were done, I still made a couple of changes based on what we had, but I figured this was closer to a truly aggregated list, I suppose. But I don't know if that theory is actually going to work or not, even after I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. But I at least thought it was worth the experiment. So this is what we have with going into battle. Or this is what we have going into battle with. Oh my gosh. Alright. So we've got 3 Play with Fire, 4 Ascendant Pack Leader. And this is something that I kind of debated, but it still makes sense to go in the list. Because we do have a few ways to trigger its extra ability. 3 Tameo Safekeeping. And this doesn't surprise me that this ended up coming up in the list. It feels like something that you really need. And I think it was just a matter if we should have this or the other one that gives hexproof and +1/+1. But either way, I think this had to be in the list somewhere. Then we have 3 Outland Liberator, and this makes sense just because you want to have a little extra something against those runes decks or anything like that. And this gives you a way to just get rid of one outright, just destroy the 2/2 lifelink, make stuff cheaper guy. But also allows us to get rid of the life gain rune, which is really the biggest problem we have. Sometimes the trample rune, but the life gain one's one that we're probably going to hate the most. This is cool for that. Also, randomly, you can use it to get rid of stuff like Wedding Announcement and things of that nature. We have 3 Ranger class, and this was something that was interesting because some lists played as few as 2, some played a full 4. There didn't seem to be any consistency, it was everything in between, so I just decided to just play 3 in this list. Obviously, everybody was playing 4 Werewolf Pack Leaders, so no surprise there. Kessig Naturalist. Believe it or not, there were some lists running around that didn't play any Naturalists at all. Some of them actually played the pup, the 1/1 that gets, or the 1/2 that gets bigger every, no, it's a 1/1, and gets bigger every turn if you control a wolf or a werewolf, and then when it dies, you gain life. I thought that was a neat addition. The problem is, in a lot of matchups, I just don't think it gets to sit around long enough to get big enough, and I didn't really want to play a list that was trying to stall for that. However, if you do decide to go that way, I think your upper end needs to be some of the, like 2 copies of either the 5 or 6 mana werewolves, just to kind of justify getting to those later stages. But I decided to go with 3 Kessig Naturalists in this, since we're also already playing the Liberator. Of course, 4 Reckless Stormseekers, that was consistent across the board. And then 3 Tovalar. And this was, a lot of lists were either 3 or 4. I decided to just go with 3. Because you already have the Werewolf Pack Leader, you have other ways to draw cards as well. Not to mention being able to play off the top of your library with Ranger class. So you don't necessarily have to have 4 Tovalar, though it is very good. I hate having too many draws with things where I'm just going to get stuck drawing another one I can't cast. So this was fine for me. 2 Eskas Chariots. And this was another one that was split across the list. Some had none. Some played 3, so I'm just going to play 2 in here and just see what's up. I think this is really good to give us a chance to just have an effectively, in quotes, another haste creature, you know, if we need it. We don't have a lot of things to copy, though, unfortunately, in this list. We really just have some wolves and the cats it makes itself. So a lot of times we're just getting in for 4, but it is a thing. You know, maybe, we'll see. I think I originally had Den of the Bugbear in this list and took it out too. So that takes away. And granted, you don't want to be copying a 1/1, but it's something. Then we have 2 Arlen the Pack's Hope. And this is another one where people kind of played 2 as the low end. And there were several lists that played 4. Again, I don't think I want to commit to 4. Maybe you could talk me into 3. but 2 is what we're going with here, and I think this is going to be more than enough, honestly. And then, of course, like we were saying, Halana and Elena definitely make the cut in here. There were some lists I saw still running around without it. I can't really justify that. I think Halana Elena is super good, and if it survives a turn or two, that's sometimes all you need to finish the game. So I don't know why you would play this list, especially being heavy, aggro, whatever, and not want to play Halana and Elena. So definitely running these in here. Then for the mana sources, we have 4 Shadow Skull Smashing, 3 Mountain, 1 Beseiju, 6 Forest, 2 Lair of the Hydra, 4 Crag Crown Pathway, and 4 Rockfall Veil. So yeah, lands pretty simple just because of the style of deck we're playing. But yeah, we're going to take this in the battle, see if we get any wins, see how we feel about it, and would we further make any changes. So of course, like always, we're going to play the games. On the back end of the video, we'll come back, talk about what we would change in this list and why, and then we'll have a card spotlight for you as usual. So catch you on the other side. Okay, we'll see what we can do. What are we going to lead with on 2, though, is the question. I'm going to assume, right or wrongly, that this is an indicator of probably runes or at least Selesnya enchantments of some kind. If we play this next turn, then we're probably only going to do this, so I would kind of like the ability to play this next turn and still shoot something. So I think that's what we're going to try for. And if this just gets exiled, it's kind of fine, because we'd rather that get exiled than something else we could play. Well, Generous Visitor, sure. Still mostly holds true to what we wanted. Though I think I might just play Pack Leader here and go for more cards next turn. Let's get green, because we can at least play the other Pack Leader. Alright. That seems reasonable. So now if they just have an enchantment that removes something, that's fine. If they play their, like, Jukai Naturalist, we can try to kill it. Alright, a Visitor. And Commune, okay. So far, so good. Alright. Trying to think about how much we could do here. Actually, we can get rid of both of those with this, though, after we attack. Even if they save one, I think we're kind of willing to risk that. So let's just take our turn. Alright. You might block this duder. But if so, I think we're okay with that too. Sure, red. Why not? Okay, there was also a chance that they might block and then try to save a thing, and then we could kill it with this. But now, they've left the door open for us to do other things. So let's take advantage of that opportunity. And let's just do this for 2. Well, let's target those. Okay. They had nothing at all. Yeah, I think we're good with this. Yep. Yeah, we'll keep this. Got most of what we could want to start with. Oh boy, I say that. I might have just jinxed us. We're gonna see if we can find that 4th land in time. Yeah, really need that 4th land. We'll see what happens, though. Oh, boy. So we're playing against one of these Reanimator. Oh, no, that's a Kami deck. All right, we did get the 4th land the hard way. But we did find it, nonetheless. Hey, that's a blocker that's going to stop a lot of damage here. So that is a totally relevant thing. We got to take 3 more here. Go ahead and stick this. Put stuff here, I guess. Counters here. Get in there with everybody. Alright. Trying to present lethal next turn. Binding. Gets rid of probably Helana and Elena, I'd imagine. Alright, is that still lethal? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Not quite. But we're going to do it anyway. Give this haste. Get in there for lots of... Oh, it is, actually. I was miscalculating. Yep. Alright, that'll work. Alright, we'll keep it. Alright, another black deck today. Elder Fang. Alright, we'll get rid of this, I suppose. And go and lead with that. And then we'll pass. Not worth trading that, unfortunately. Our plan right now, if we have to discard, is probably just discard Liberator. Hopefully get to resolve a Chariot at some stage here. Oh, that's not going to happen. Oh, that's a no-go. I mean, obviously you're getting rid of Chariot, right? Can they not? I mean, I feels like that's going to be the thing. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe Tameo safekeeping. Yeah, I was going to say. Like, maybe. I mean, there is a world where that could matter. Especially if we attacked here, protect a creature. Maybe they can't deal with stuff in the short term. Oh. Do they have the, Oh, Dread Fugue. Nice. Alright. Opponent's going hardcore on the discard here. Okay. The only thing I'm considering is, do I play this or not? But I think we do. And the opponent just has Meat Hook for 2. They just have Meat Hook for 2. And they know we've got Chariot left. They're probably going to want us to discard it before we draw a land. So, up to them what they want to do here. Because that does matter. Okay. They decided to grasp. Let's draw an untapped land deck. Nah, that's like the next best thing, I guess. We could have done worse. You know what? We're not going to do anything with this anyway. Ooh, do they need that creature to sacrifice for something? Maybe. They really wanted that. They could have blocked and traded with the pack leader, which is interesting because I'm wondering if it means we could have got through with the pack leader the last 2 turns. Oh, maybe save them so you can block something bigger? Not totally sure what that means. But, yeah. We'll just put the counter here, I guess. I mean, we didn't get anything else to do here, so opponent's just going to do what they're going to do. I mean, you either double block the Liberator, or you just block Pack Leader and wait to block something bigger. Nope, they're just going with that right now. Alright, well, we do need to go ahead and play this, so we can cast anything we get. Good news is, we have a creature that's a 4 toughness, so now Meat Hook is not enough. Actually, Meat Hook's not enough for either of these. So what do we got? A win. That's what we got. All right, we're going to keep it. I don't know if this turns into anything, but maybe. That's the best I can say about it. Let's go with this. So we get to play a naturalist, and then I don't even know what happens after that. All right, attack for 2. Opponent didn't have anything. That's good to know. All right, please don't harm my creatures. Please don't harm my creatures. Let's go, Port Merchant. That guy's going to be annoying for us, isn't it? But we can attack and still play an Arlen. That's pretty sweet. We don't hate that. So let's do that. Get green mana. See if the opponent blocks. The fact that they're debating blocking says that they don't have much in their hand and they're leaning on this card, which kind of makes me want to use my Shatter Skull Smashing. Not gonna lie, it really does. But there's also the possibility of them just having like a Loth next turn, and we'd rather just do this. Oh, I just realized I should have done that first. I forgot my pack leader was going to get a +1. But to be fair, there was a chance I was going to cast that, so I guess it's not too bad. Do we want to plus Arlen, anticipating a sweeper of some kind? Let's do that.
Attack when they're most vulnerable.
Because if you were going to meat hook, now would not be a bad time. Ah, they had a despair. Gosh dang it. Okay. Well, we lose Arlen. I guess I could have got the wolves. Such is life. We will live. For now. Alright. We'll just keep on keeping on. And now this is still a reasonable card here. Right? Infernal Grasp makes sense. Yep, think we still attack here. Opponent's blocking. We'll let damage happen first. Then we'll shoot this. Just in case they had any ideas about doing something else. I don't know that this is going to be important, so I'm going to go ahead and use this and just level this while we got a chance. Now, if they have another Despair, that's kind of a wasted turn, but sometimes just got to live with the consequences. Yep, they had another Despair. So be it. Is what it is. Do. Unfortunately, this is where a meat hook for 3 is still very good. Yep. Knew that was a thing. Got to draw one of our big cards now. That is not it. Oh boy. Yeah, we'll keep it. Why not? If we draw another green source, I'll play this first so we could protect the pack leader next turn. If not, okay, then that's what we're going to do. Because if something happens to the wolf token, we don't mind as much. But the werewolf pack leader we would like to protect if possible. We'll just attack for 2. See what the opponent wants to do about that. I mean, we're not protecting this either way. We're just going to let it die. Destroy target attacking creature. All right, we're going there. Good to know. Good to know. All right. hadn't even seen anybody cast that card. That's interesting. Okay, Restoration. Wonder how fast this is going to get out of hand. Well, that could be helpful. Can only attack for 3 here, though. If I want to leave up the safekeeping. Alright, I think that's what we're doing. And I'm going to go ahead and take damage. Mostly because there could be some sweeper effect here. And we'd want to protect the werewolf, or the pack leader, and still be able to kill the restoration of a Ganjo, potentially. But I think that's the most we could do there. Now, this is going to give the opponent 5-6 mana going into next turn, which is a little bit of a pain for us. We'll have to figure out how that's going to work, but for now, this is where we are. Okay. Now, if they tried to Wandering Emperor here, we can protect a pack leader. Also, if they just pass, we get to flip our Liberator, then that gives us a chance to draw a card. So we don't hate any of those scenarios. Those all benefit us. And that may be what they're considering here. So they want to go for the March. Well, I guess if you're just going to kill that, then sure. There must be something more important they want to play. Oh, just another restoration? Okay. Now, admittedly, we could have protected the other creature, but wasn't really into it. Alright, this is good, because now we get to protect something else. Let's go ahead and attack. Play this. End the turn. Doomscar here will just save our werewolf pack leader. If we're lucky. Okay, they're not discarding anything here. Wedding announcement. Okay, that's why they wanted it dead. Okay, I can respect that. Oh, you had 2 wedding announcements. Well, that's super annoying. Alright, well, that's a thing we'll have to figure out. Ooh, 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 what do we do with this? What do we do with this? Damn. Alright, I guess if we... what are the odds that there's something relevant in their hand? But we're going to get a card, so why not? Okay. Counters here, I guess. Get in there. Copy a cat. Alright, we did find a land. I mean, that's 11 if they don't block. I mean, that's a real hit. So you got to chump block something here. Yeah, that doesn't make sense not to. Alright. I guess we'll put that on red. In the turn. Though we do have a real situation here, because it might be worth it to just protect Halana and Elena. I mean, for real, for real. And you chose to not do anything. That is very interesting. Why would you not have done anything there? What does that mean? We're obviously going to crew the chariot. That's a non-issue. It's just I'm just debating what we do with the rest of the mana on this turn. Let's crew chariot with these 2. I'm actually not even sure if it's better to crew the chariot with just the one and then attack with these others and let the opponent figure out how they want to sort out the details. Which I'm kind of into, actually. All right. Because you're going to likely try to stop the chariot or the other thing. So let's pump this. And then we can attack. We're going to put the counters on the chariot, I believe. And then we will attack with all this, copying one of these, putting the counters on Halana and Elena. Drawing a card. Now, the reason I did all that way is it allows us to also pump our werewolf, which has trample. We can still protect the werewolf after pumping. If things don't go at all the way we want, well, that's some good news. All right, we get the win. I'll take it. All right, we'll keep it. See what this do. Oh, where were you turn one? You would have been real nice. Maybe the opponent will just be kind and pass here, so we get a 3-3. Then again, probably not. Nope, they're going to use a Blood Chief's Thirst. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and just play this. No need to put Tovolar at risk unnecessarily. Maybe we get to shoot down a potential blocker if we're lucky. I doubt it, though. But we'll see what the opponent decides to do. Well, sadly, we got nothing. Alright, well, we'll just go ahead and kill you. So we can at least try to play our Tovolar. Really, what we need to draw here to go with our Tovolar is a Tamiyo Safekeeping, which we found, so that's really good. Go ahead and play that. And the good news is they don't know we have the Safekeeping, so that's a benefit. And it doesn't even look suspect that we tapped our red mana because we had to tap it to cast Tovolar. Though we do have to hope they don't have... Oh, okay, good deal. I was about to say a 2-mana removal and then a Durari's Disruption, because that would have sucked. Yeah, I guess we just attack for 3. Alright, a backup Tovolar, I guess. Yeah, we'll put this into play tapped. Why not? Alright. I mean, only benefit of it becoming a 4/4 is that they can't really meat hook it here. But they can do that, and that is fine. Alright, shoot the opponent. Do not need a Rockfall Veil. You know what? I'm going to do this and attack for 1. In the event the opponent has another removal or a meat hook or something, they just get the werewolf, the pack leader here. Well, that could be a counter to our dude, unfortunately. Alright, well, we'll try to attack. Oh, is this a Poison the Cup? No, an Infernal Grasp. Okay. Do I want to resolve a Tovolar here? I guess it sort of depends on what I believe that last card is, but I'm just going to pass. Oh, it was a Behold the Multiverse. Gosh dang it. Oh well. Played around the wrong things. All right. Well, the opponent got drew 2. Found a land. Playing a Siphon Insight. Okay, well, good news is we're going to get in for at least a card. So that's nice. I mean, yeah, I guess we go for it. I was trying to think, like, what else would we do there, but nah. All right. I mean, the opponent's had a chance to draw multiple cards here, so we don't want to run too much out there. We don't have to. Ah, some red mana. Well, that's a thing. Oh, I guess that makes sense. So they can use their Tybalt. Okay, there's a meat hook. Not a huge surprise. Now the question is, can we do enough in short order here? The answer is maybe. All right. Activate this for 1. And give this haste. Been there for 4. All right. That's something. Gets us started. All right. You got a pack leader. And they're probably just going to Siphon Insight again here. Yep. Makes sense. Probably trying to find one of our Ascendant pack leaders. Which looks like they did. Nope, they just took a land from us. Okay. Ooh. How do we feel about that? So, if either way, if we plus Arlen... Ah, geez. All right. I'm just thinking if we play this, give this haste, they can block here, take 3, and then we make this a 1, 2, 3. So they'd only take 5, 6. So they'd still be at 1. If we played Arlen, then we make 2 2/2s. And then just attack with Stormseeker. It's just trades and the opponent gains a life. Gosh. We could also just plus this, but that doesn't feel good. Man, I don't know what the right play is here. We could also just attack with this for a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, that's also reasonable. Lots of choices here that all make sense. I think we're going to go with this, though. And then we're just going to give this haste. Oh, I gave it to the wrong one. Dang it. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. We just trade either way here, right? Yeah, we might as well. And they're going to block. We gain 1. Game 1, lose 1. That whole thing. Yep. And then we'll just see what happens.
Gather, my children.
They're probably going to play a black land and just still have a greedy mana base. Make us sacrifice a bunch of things. Nope, another meat hook. Okay. I was wondering if there was another, but there wasn't a lot we were going to do. It was going to change that, really. Valky, yep. They needed a blocker, it seems. Come on, creature. Oh, that's one of the best creatures. We couldn't have asked for much more. I'll tell you that. Oh, but we can't activate this for 0. Ah. Oh, well. Bad times. Bad times. Because now we're going to lose Arlen. Man, why did instinctively... I knew I should have plussed instead of made the Wolves that last turn. That swing's really big. Plus, it gave them 2 extra life I didn't have to give them. Yeah, we're in bad shape here. Though, if the opponent does all-out attack, they wouldn't be able to kill Halana and Elena here. That's not true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess they could bounce it or something. But we're really not that interested in blocking, except maybe just blocking Valky. But they might want to keep that for... Oh, Katose. Alright. I guess the trade-off is, since I could play Halana Elena at instant speed, I could have just kept it as a surprise to see if maybe they attack or something. Alright, you get all those, and you can play one. Sounds good. Alright, be something good, deck. Not that. Gosh dang it. Why? Why did you do that? Huh.
We'll catch them.
So here's an interesting thing. It might be worth it to just activate this for 1. Just so we can put 3 counters on it, actually. And then have it to block for 6 later. Kind of a weird sequence, but I think it's the correct thing to do. Well, actually, I guess it'll do it for 7, because it already have 3 counters on it? Yeah. No, it'll be 6. Yeah. All right, let's see what happens. Sphere of Annihilation for 4. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile all creatures and planeswalkers with mana value less than or equal to them. Okay, cool. So we're going to have 1 shot, effectively. Good to know. That might be, honestly, the first time I've seen that card cast in 60-card Magic. Siphon, so that's going to flip everything. That was one of our few real shots we had, unfortunately. So now, yep. We just don't have any real outs here, I don't think. Yeah, another Lana and Elena doesn't do much for us. Other than, this does create a trigger that lets us place it at the end of the turn. This is everything X or less, right? All creatures and planeswalkers with mana value less than or equal to the number of void counters. Well, just attacking doesn't do anything because they just block with Katose there. I mean, we can plus this.
Wait for the perfect moment to strike.
And then we just pass. All right.
I must go.
Everything dies. Okay, we're going to try. Oh, I forgot to actually put counters on my land last turn. I should have done that. I didn't realize I was going to have the mana available. I could have put 3 more counters on it. That's a big difference here, actually. Oh my gosh, we drew land, Halana, land. Boo. That sucks. That's absolutely terrible. I mean, what's the most we can make this now? Play a land. This can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, sure. Why not? 2, 4, 6. If they got it, they got it. I mean, there's truly nothing else we can do here. And if they got the kill card, they got the kill card. Yep. They're going to save their creature? Of course they are. Why wouldn't they? Yep, might as well go digging, opponent. Why not? Alright. Oh, man. I just need some other threat here would be great. Leer, real bad. Alright, time to move on. Okay, we're going to keep this. And our opponent has such a cool username, Steel Lotus. That sounds like you're something. I like that. Alright, let's see if we can turn this into anything. And this feels like it should be an okay start. There's a lot of ways it could go south. So let's go ahead and just play this. I guess we'll play this then. Go and play a Liberator. And I guess on the plus side, if we don't cast anything, our Liberator becomes a 3/3 and gets to attack, so there's that. Valky. Ha! You don't even get anything, Valky. How you like that? How you like dim apples? Ah, crap. Now I kind of want to play something, though. Well, that's a thing. Oh boy. You know what? I kind of messed up there. I probably should have just played the Forest, and then I could have Tameo Safekeeping and still play the Werewolf, but... Maybe I didn't want to do that anyway. Maybe... I'm just going to attack with the Pack Leader. And if they want to trade for that, we're willing to trade. Mostly on the idea that the Outlander could become a 3/3 on their turn, or Outland Liberator. But who knows? Maybe they just spend mana to kill our Pack Wolf here. Yeah, that was a mistake not playing the Forest. I really should have. Especially since they know we have the Tameo Safekeeping. It's not like I can keep it a secret. Oh, they let us get through with it, though. Well, that feels weird. Yeah, okay. Their hand, what is their hand? Like, for real, for real. I mean... Yeah, I guess we just pass. I mean, why do anything else here? I mean, I'm sure there's some world where they were trying to get us with like a Jiraiya's Disruption or something, but... I mean, they're 2 turns away from being able to meat hook our board, so... Okay. They choose something, let our things die. That makes sense. So we would have had just about a time had we played the Chariot that turn anyway. Alright. Ooh, Tovolar. Don't hate that. We can play Tovolar and pseudo-protect it. Again, they could play a meat hook here or something, and there's not much we could do about it. So I'm going to go with this. Under the guise that maybe we could draw, if they do meat hook for 2, we could possibly draw something to go with our Tovolar, and then attack with the Chariot next turn, and we'll just see what happens. And if not, well, it'll just be what it is. Okay, that's a thing to know. I don't even know if I'm willing to play this or not here. Because, I mean, next turn we could do that, and they'll still pump that for 1 and get... Okay, that seems like a thing. Alright. Just to get some more damage in, or at least attempt to get more damage in here. It also sets up an attacking creature for next turn to go with our Tovolar. Now, we only get to use this Tameo Safekeeping once, obviously, but could still be worth it. Opponent's only at 12. Alright, force us to use it. With that resolving, we haven't declared attackers yet, so now that we know we can get away with this, let's go ahead and make this a 2. Yeah. Alright. Copy that. Okay. I mean, we did what we could here. Now, obviously, Meat Hook, they're going to gain 4, so they'll be at 8. And we got to do that whole song and dance, but is what it is. Alright, they're going to kill one of those, which is good, because that means, yeah, there's no Meat Hook and we win. Oh, boy. Yeah, we'll keep this. I mean, there's a world where maybe we play this untapped on 1. To kill some... Ugh, taking 3 damage is going to suck against that, though. But it might still be the right play if we get to stop something important. And then if we do that, then that's the best thing we're going to do is next turn is play an Liberator. Alright, fine. I mean, we're stopping damage over the course of turns, so I guess it's still worth it. Downside of not getting to play a pack leader, though. It's super tough. Alright. Before it gets to do too much damage to us, we'll take 1 instead of 3. Or potentially 6. Alright, we don't hate that if we find more mana. I think I'm going to go with this. So we at least get something out there. And then wait till we can protect the Liberator, potentially. Alright, that still takes 4 to crew. Yep. Sounds like a plan. We will be blocking. We're getting the opponent to expend a lot of cards here, which is good. Bad news is, we're not doing anything with all the stuff that's in our hand. So, yeah. Man, this is rough, because our hand would actually be pretty reasonable in this matchup. Unfortunately, we just can't afford to take all this damage. I mean, do we take 3? Yeah, I guess so, and block this one. Whew, okay, we finally got another land, but is it too late, is the question. I mean, they're going to be able to attack for 3. I mean, I guess we could do this. And then pass. This leaves a couple of options open, right? Because now we could shoot something for 2. We can kill their rabid battery. Another battery. Okay, sure. Alright, and then we'll kill this. Mostly because if we kill the battery, we just be trading, and at 9, I'd rather hold on to a body or 2 if we can. Trading isn't quite good enough here. Okay, that is very helpful. We're going to go with this. And not attack yet. I think we're going to wait. Battlecry Goblin. Son of a gun. Alright. Boy, I would like to kill that. This only pumps goblins, right? Yeah, goblins we control. Oh, that makes something can't block. Oh well, at least we can protect it once. Alright. Don't know what we're hoping to draw here. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. If there was something to draw, this was probably it. Yep, we're gonna get some duders. Max blockers is what we need right now. Do we attack with one of these, being at 9? Okay, they decided that was enough. Alright, so good news, bad news. Good news, the deck was better than I thought it was going to be, and the aggregated thing kind of sort of worked, so that's kind of cool. Downside though, is I think you have to have some protection for your cards big time. I think that's kind of a just a gimme. You just got to have that. And partly because I think the toughness on some of these, especially your early creatures, is fairly small without a natural way to grow them themselves outside of things you do with like a Tovolar or something like that. So that's a little bit tough. So Tameo safekeeping was very good, but the matchups we struggled in actually were ones that had a lot of spot removal or board sweepers, right? And we didn't have a lot of ways to protect our stuff. So to that end, as tough as it is to say this, I think Arlen was actually the weakest card in the deck. And that's weird because the card is actually very good, but yeah, Arlen didn't really seem to check too many boxes. So one of the things I might consider in the final list is cutting Arlen and increasing to 2 of either an additional Tameo safekeeping or I don't know why I always forget the name, but the other one gives hexproof and +1/+1. I think having those would give you a little bit of a leg up in some situations that you would otherwise lose. Because a lot of times, if we're able to save like one creature, like if we can save a Stormseeker early, then maybe play a Chariot or a Tovolar behind it, and boom, get some cards or just get some extra damage. That's going to be enough to win the game a lot of the time. So we really do need to be able to protect 1 or 2 key creatures, and that's all it takes. Especially say your opponent comes down and they've dealt with a couple things, and then they get a I don't know, Wandering Emperor. Being able to protect the creature there is huge. Especially if you're in a situation where you've got like a Trampling Stormseeker or whatever already, or a Helana and Elena that's already queued up to pump your next thing, right? Those are very big changes in the deck. So I think that's all I would change, and just make Tovolar, Chariot, Helana, and Elena your upper end. I think is probably the best bet for the deck. Otherwise, I don't think I have any major changes I would make to it. I think it just plays a bit differently than you would expect. Sadly, the play with fires are only okay, but it takes away one of the elements you have that works against the runes decks, right? Because you need to have some early removal. So between those, your Liberator, and Shatter Skull Smashing, that tends to be enough for you to get through. But I feel a little scared if we take those out. But I could see a world where if you said, you know what, I'm going to write that matchup off, but if I play other things that can protect our creatures, and maybe play another Liberator, and we just hedge our bets. So that's another way you could go with it. I don't think I'm necessarily going to do that, but it's something I would keep in mind. So yeah, ultimately, would I still recommend people play this? I would say yes, but understand that if for whatever reason you're running into a lot of aggro decks, then yeah, this probably works fine. Even having some ways to protect your creatures, let you win some combat you wouldn't win otherwise, and that's actually pretty good. But I think without having those extra Tameo safekeepings or whatever, I think you're going to struggle a bit against the black heavy removal decks, or I guess the Orzhov whatevers, but you know what I'm saying. To that end, though, I think you make those changes, and that really moves that needle a lot in those matchups. So I say it's worth doing if you make the changes, but I think the other issue is how much you want to lean on those play with fires or not. And I think not going with the Snowlands just to be able to have Blizzard Brawl whatever was the right call, because the white decks have all moved to playing Redain and stuff now, and that's actually a pretty big deal, especially if they're on the play and then you can't play a 3-mana thing or whatever on your turn. This solves that problem quite a bit. So yeah, I'm good with it. I would recommend, if you want to play Werewolves, consider making some changes to your build, and this with this information based on all these other lists that we kind of aggregated to get to this. So I don't know, it's a thought. It's definitely different. I'm kind of glad I did the experiment though. Now for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Daybreak Ranger. And this card was one, believe it or not, when it came out, that everybody was super excited about. They actually thought, oh man, this could be a thing later. Enough that everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people were actually speculating on this pretty deep. I know people who bought tons of them because they were able to be picked up at like 25 and 50 cents early on. Now, it does tap to deal 2 damage to a creature with flying, which is kind of okay. It's not that huge deal, but it's solid. But the backside is actually pretty sweet too, that it becomes a 4/4, and then it can just fight a thing. And that seems good. So I totally get why, especially in that current standard at the time, why everybody kind of had some potential high hopes for it. But the sad thing is, this thing made almost no major list anywhere. Like, this is kind of a good example when we're talking about things in preview season. Even when a card looks good and makes sense, sometimes it's just a fact of the matter that the right metagame doesn't come along, or maybe people start playing a particular card or two that happen to be really hostile for the card you want to play. and that can just keep it from ever seeing its peak. So yeah, while it's a neat card and you can pick them up for about $1.50 now, it just never really got its day in the sun, which is kind of sad. Now don't forget, if you want today's deck list, it will be down in the description below, along with links for our Facebook gaming page, our Twitch streams, and our Discord, which is open to the public, and you should use that, by the way, because if you have questions about any of the cards or new decks or anything, that's going to be one of the best places to come and discuss it and get help with some ideas you might have. Also, if you'd be so kind to consider it, check out the join button down below. You can support the channel for as little as 99 cents. Speaking of, if you're already a member, check your messages because I'm getting some feedback from you right now. So go look. Also, if you've come this far, please remember to like the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and choose all notifications to make sure you don't miss any of the ridiculous pile of videos I have coming. I have a ton of notes here for videos coming over the next 2 weeks, so keep your eyes out for those. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.